Hey guys, welcome to the End of All Hope recap episode. I will play host. My name is Robert Lamb, creator of End of All Hope, and with me today is Hope Ennis.
I play Ava. Just say
hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm Ava.
just say hi.
I play Ava.
I play Ava. And then Adam Jetmore.
Hi, I'm Jay. I mean, I feel like you could have set us up with the characters.
I was going to like afterwards,
I'm always
but she already said.
uncomfortable in every situation ever, so here we are.
Yeah, you're so used to doing voiceovers that doing an actual podcast where we just talk is.
It's
is
true.
weird.
I haven't been in just like a podcast in a while.
It's been a while since we've done an actual podcast.
Yeah.
But now we don't do them here at Seven Lamb Productions. Really, because this is a new production company that specializes in audio dramas, guys.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
I knew that.
This used to be End of All Hope. For people who didn't know, who just started to listen to it recently, used to be under Shark Dropper Studios.
Boo.
They suck.
which was the company, I guess you could say, like that I was working for and Adam was a part of before. But it changed.
The fracture.
We lost some people, and we
lost
redid
some
it.
people.
The great
Couple people.
splitting.
Yeah. Now it's something completely different. Now it's Seven Lamb Productions. I had to go back and re-edit the first 8 episodes of End of All Hope.
Take out any of the voices that those people were in.
That they did. And
Did you really?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
I went back and there's a couple things which we'll talk about now. I went back and
Talk about right now.
yeah, there's no structure to this.
Yeah,
so
we're already off
Don't
the
leave
fucking
them
rails.
alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
So when End of All Hope started, it released in 2015, and we were Shark Dropper Studios. And when we changed to Seven Lamb Productions, which is just like a couple months ago, I had to go back and fix everything. So I took out the intro that was like Shark Dropper Presents and changed it with Seven Lamb. But then I also, which I didn't realize at first, was the music I was using to edit End of All Hope wasn't royalty free for podcasts.
Oops.
It was I don't want to mention the website where I got it from because
No,
we weren't supposed to
definitely
use it.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were
definitely
supposed well, it's weird because he offered his music for everything, like YouTube videos, skits, websites, all that kind of stuff. But he's like, but not podcasts because podcasts are just too difficult. And I don't know what he meant by that. I didn't really read up on it too much, but I didn't see that when I first started editing End of All Hope. So I guess I just glossed over it, or maybe he added it later. But then I was like, crap, I need to go back.
I thought that was
take it
that
out.
other person that we're not going to name.
No.
No?
Who? What, mouth it again? No.
Oh,
That was that's something different.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
talk about that
Oh,
off the air.
That's a case of bitch.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought it was.
No. This was because End of All Hope was the first audio drama that I decided that I was editing, which I'm not an audio editor. I had to kind of figure it out along the way. But Seven Lamb Productions has several other audio dramas that we do too, and those were edited by another person that ended up leaving Shark Dropper. So now I just had to kind of learn how to edit and then get people to help me edit, like Adam and a couple other people, and now we just took it all under the umbrella of Seven Lamb, and that's how we're producing End of All Hope now. But End of All Hope did start in 2015, which is 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Well, no, let me think.
No,
It was
because I
September.
think it came out around October because
Yeah.
I remember being in New York for my friend's wedding
Yeah, it was
when
late.
the first episode came out.
Yeah, but still, 2 years then. The
been a
first
while.
year it was 4 episodes, but that was because I was trying to learn how to edit. And then last year, just because of a lot of stuff that happened,
Let's just
didn't get a
call
lot
it
of
Shark
episodes out.
Dropper.
Yeah, a lot of Shark Dropper related stuff happened, so we didn't get it out as often as we wanted to. But then this past couple months, I was releasing them every 2 weeks, trying to wrap up season 1 so we could get it out and start, because people were emailing and commenting on Twitter and stuff saying, hey, when's the next episode coming out? I'm like, oh,
positive reviews.
Yeah, it's been four months since the last episode, which is a long time to wait for a 10-minute episode. So,
and I promise you, those were not all dummy accounts I made.
Oh yeah, Adam, you really loved the show, and you just wanted to hear more of it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, I needed to come in and record more lines.
Listen, we
needed to get those episodes out so I can record the next one.
Well, we wanted to get the tens of downloads.
Yeah.
Rather than just the 2 to 3. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but actually it did spike once we got on a schedule. So I'm like, oh yeah, we need to do that.
And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It jumped. It like tripled in numbers when I released 2 episodes within 2 weeks. I was like, okay, I need to do this more often.
This.
Yeah. So it went to 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was great. It was great. We're hoping to double that and maybe get 6 downloads by next week.
Nice.
With this episode, I'm hoping to really, behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, this will.
People love that shit.
Mm-hmm. I watched all the DVD commentaries and.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Bonus features.
Yeah, I don't even watch movies. I just watch the bonus features.
I don't watch DVD commentary, but I do like bonus features.
Did you ever watch DVD commentary? Like, have you ever watched one?
I don't think so.
I think I maybe tried once, or I've watched a couple of the like bloopers or deleted scenes or something like that. And I'm like, no, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I was younger and DVDs were like new thing, and they had all the bonus, I was like, oh, this is awesome, and I used to watch it like all the time. Even the commentary, I would watch it. Me. But now I just don't have time for it. I like knowing why
character or like why something like that happens. So sometimes, but I just like Google it now.
No,
like why did this? Why did this actor?
And I guess that makes sense.
IMDb,
that makes sense for you since you are so into
film and stuff. Yeah. I mean, like
for me, I'm like, I don't give a shit what David Yates or whoever directed Harry Potter 4 had to say about the Goblet of Fire,
or what he's saying,
why they chose that trophy design.
Well, I've watched like commentary too, and some of the commentary is just like sometimes there's just they're not saying anything. They're just watching the movie for a little bit, and I'm just like, all right, well,
I remember that day. Yeah, it was really cold.
But then there are those rare commentaries where everybody just gets like trashed during it, and you're like, this is madness, and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't like when they have too many people on the commentary, which is why I only chose 3 people for this episode of End of All Hope, just because I didn't want too many people. Plus, like, I mean, the more important people are here right now. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Now, Nick, who voices Mark, and actually our friend Jenny, who voices Serena, were supposed to be here too, but they just couldn't make it.
Not dedicated. Whatever.
They don't.
Shark dropper.
Yeah, shark dropper related shit. No, it's you know what? That's okay. They obviously don't care about this production, and they don't want to be a part of it. And this is why I'm writing them out.
From
don't
my
say
editing.
anything and see if they listen.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, that's why I killed off Jenny's character. I was like, your heart's not in it. Your heart's not in it.
I think it's pretty safe to assume that this whole thing is a spoiler alert.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say that, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about the whole, I mean, hopefully you're not listening to this before you listen to
But if you are, well,
that's your fault.
Hopefully you don't mind knowing what's ahead.
Some people do it, though, because it's like on the top of the iTunes chart. You know what I mean? Like they'll listen to the latest one that came out and it'll be this, and then they'll be like, what are they talking about?
Well, read it first. See what it is.
Yeah, I know.
See what it is.
Yeah, there'll be a description.
Yeah. Well, hit pause now. Go back, read the description.
Yeah.
And then proceed.
Yeah. There you go. Piece of cake.
Yeah. Then it's up to you.
Do what you want. If you want to be a rebel and listen to this first, do it.
Yeah. Work backwards. Mm-hmm. Listen to it backwards. I actually wrote it, so it's kind of like Memento.
Yeah. In fact,
it's not.
In fact,
no, you didn't.
Scrub backwards the whole time. Listen to it completely in reverse.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you play The Wizard of Oz during this podcast, you can't hear this podcast. I don't know if you guys.
I was like, what were you gonna say?
I mean, you could.
I mean, maybe.
It depends on
if you have headphones on.
Yeah,
you can listen to it,
or you mute the TV.
Yeah, either one.
Bluetooth speaker.
I'm just saying, if you're listening.
It's 2017, Robert.
There's a lot.
You know
of
what?
options.
My sound system actually has 2 zones where I could play something from the TV and something else in zone 2. So
maybe it matches up. If this podcast had to match up with one movie while you're watching it,
send
which
us
one would it be?
$100.
I thought I was going to ask you which one.
I thought people were going to test it, and if that was correct, they were going to all send us $100.
All right, that's true. If you can find a movie that this links up to very well, then
send us $100.
Yeah, send us money.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, but
I thought that was a movie. I was like, I've never heard of that. Oh, send us $100.
So what movie would sync up with this?
I don't know.
that was your question?
That was your
right?
question. My question to you.
That's what I was just trying to get some focus back to this.
Yeah, there's not focus. There's not focus on this.
We're like a little metal puddle. Like
I wrote down.
I'm just gonna abandon that secret world of Alex Mack joke right now.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, because no one knows what that is.
I wrote a list down of all the things that we were going to talk about in this podcast, but we're kind of just jumping around anyway.
Yeah. Let me see. You know what? I'm going to say the original, the very first, I think it came out in, God, what year did that movie come out?
Which one?
The Mighty Morphin, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with
95?
Ivan Ooze.
95, I think.
Spoiler
That sounds
yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Like, that was my inspiration for this.
Yeah.
This show.
I really felt the only thing missing from this was gigantic, ooze, but robotic dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That could form together.
And honestly, it's only season 1, so there could be.
I
don't want to just like...
I haven't ended all hope yet.
Oh, there you go. Which, you know what? I do want to say that the title is End of All Hope, and our lead character is named Hope.
And I asked you if you did it on purpose, and you said no.
Yeah, I didn't do that on purpose.
I don't believe him, though.
No, I really didn't.
I think
that's
he's a liar.
weird.
Did you write this knowing that you were going to ask me to be the lead?
No. I mean, I wrote it first, and then I was like, "Who do I?"
Written? Did you already have a title when you asked?
I'm pretty sure I already had the title before I asked you.
So I think that you were like, you know what?
Maybe subconsciously, but it wasn't like something that like I was like, "Oh, this will be cool." Like I'll be like a rock star.
When I explain that to people, they're like, "It's about." I'm like, "No, it's not about me."
I know it's kind of weird.
Maybe
it is. I just like that. I remember like listing a bunch of titles and just kind of like trying to come up with something.
People are ever like, that's weird.
End of All Hope, and then Ava starring Hope Ennis. Yeah, I don't know.
That's 100% the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I think it's a cool title.
I think it's a cool title too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think that you were like,
I really didn't like.
I want Hope to do this. Let me put her as the title. And then maybe
you just told us you know 5 girls, and you went with Hope.
That's it. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Why did I cast you? I remember you were...
Why did you
cast
me?
Hold on. No. I was going to say, because you starred in another podcast that we did at Shark Driver Studios, which is Stop Loving Her. No, I mean, you co-starred. You were one of the voices in it. And then I was like, oh, Hope's pretty good. Like, let's get her...
You have never given me a compliment.
Well, I don't like to do it.
Maybe that's because you berate him the whole time.
That's true.
You're recording.
Have you listened?
He takes out what he says to me. And he like stares at me.
I hear
he stares at me when I record.
I stare at everybody when we record.
He stares at me too, to be fair.
But I'm not going to apologize.
Longingly. Listen, I know. Honestly, most of the bloopers are just Hope and me like going at it when we're recording.
I know.
It's just like so much. Yeah,
and you like stopping to Google something to prove like your point or something.
All the times I hear you put Jay down, I'm just like,
whatever.
Maybe I'm just going to leave this blooper in instead of a real line.
Listen, sorry, Ava and Jay, you're not that great.
That's true. Okay, so let's get into it really quick. End of All Hope is basically about these 3 characters that go to New York for a convention, and while there, a bunch of asteroids, meteors hit the Earth. They don't know what's going on. They panic. They get out of New York, and now they're forced to go from... they find out that it's an alien invasion, and they're forced to try to go from New York to California.
I have a question. Yes. You said asteroids or meteors. Do you know which one it technically is?
It's technically meteors.
You had me questioning it a lot through that whole series.
It honestly, because I wrote down asteroids first, like that, and I don't remember why I picked that one specifically for some reason. I don't remember if it was because it was like from an old movie or something like that. I picked that one, but then like the more I wrote it, I was like, you know what? I don't know like if that's really the accurate term. And meteorite is when a piece of rock hits the Earth. It's called a meteorite. But I don't think you call it a meteorite when it's like if there's a
meteor left, right?
Yeah, there you go. It's just not. It just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? So so I just ended up calling them meteors after that because I think meteors are actually smaller. Asteroids are more like the bigger rocks, like huge, like end of the world type.
Well, I mean,
it could be.
You don't know. Some of those meteorites that hit these Earths.
Yeah, all
however
these
many
Earths.
we have.
Yeah, well, we'll stick with this one right now.
I feel like that could have been an 80s song.
These Earths. It sounds like these eyes, but
yep, there we go. Yeah. That's what I was looking for, and then I decided I was not going to try and
You're going to drop it, yeah.
Yep, I was like, nope, I will just bail and there will be silence. Someone can save me. Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I just
meteors.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think I like kind of corrected.
I really derailed this again, didn't I?
have no idea.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, that's why I changed it, and I actually like kind of worked it into the script, which is maybe I don't know if it's good writing or showing that I'm a bad writer, but I try to work it into the script.
Well, that's kind of funny because Jay's always the one questioning if it's a mean.
Which I thought was kind of like funny, and that kind of like it kind of coincided with Jade's character.
I just think of myself as the Hurley of End of All Hope.
You are
the voice
very,
of the
like,
people.
Very, very much.
You're like the voice of the people, and you're kind of like you're asking like the questions, like even if they're
That
like
no
dumb,
one's
or
asking.
even if they're like just out, like don't ask that question right now. Like if it's like you just like that character just does it. Jay's just like I'm gonna ask her or say this right now and shit like that. If something's happening and it seems dumb, he's gonna point it out. Ava, what did you say about Ava, Hope? That you think she's kind of
I don't think she's kind of. I think Ava is a bitch, but but at first I didn't like her. I really didn't. But later on, I understand what it's like with being. She has to be the strong one and things like that. It's not her fault that they rely on her.
Right.
That they like she doesn't just like go up and say this is what we're doing. They ask her what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be
if you're
fair,
gonna
she
step
does
up, you're gonna
just
step up.
blatantly flip-flop her decisions.
She does
very
constantly
much does, and that's
without any prompting from anybody. She's just like, no, we're going to do this now. But aren't we going back
and
to
then she'll
California?
question
No.
it. And she'll question it.
But she does like the way I tried to write her was that like she's the reason why she flip flops was usually like it was more of like a compassionate reason, like helping those people, even though she's like we got to get back, like and Mark's like well let's not stop for people then, but then she's still like compassionate and she like wanted to help them and stuff like that. Or like when she was
early on in the cabin too, she didn't know if she wanted to go. Like she wanted
Right.
to go, but she didn't know if she wanted to.
right. I mean yeah, there's like different. What was the other time when she was in the quarantine zone? But that was more to find out what was going on. But again, she could have been like trying to like more get out of there rather than like researching what was going on and what the CDC and all these other people were saying. So that's kind of how I wrote her, but like not necessarily to be like a flip flopper, but like to kind of have like a compassionate side. Like there's reasons from the most part of why she's doing the things she does, but I did kind of write her almost like to be kind of selfish though too.
She is very selfish.
Yeah.
That is something that I think that's clear.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
I mean,
But
if
Mark,
shit's
you
going
said,
down, you're gonna care about yourself, I guess.
and you said Mark's kind of almost like a pushover.
He is. I like. He's my favorite character, but sometimes I'm like, just say no, or just stop asking. Just make a decision.
He doesn't have anyone else though.
The end,
That's
he
true.
just
They did
stood
point
at the car. He has Jay. And that was the whole spoiler.
Yeah.
If they were going to go back for Jay, and he stood there and waited, what was it, like a half an hour for her to decide? Like, you have say what your opinion is, even if you don't want to be the one to say, I want to go or I want to go back for him. Have an opinion.
But it
And
kind
he
of
said-
seems like he likes Ava, so he's kind of like,
But are girls attracted to that?
I don't know.
Like,
You're a girl. Answer it.
okay, I'm not.
Okay, well,
Like puppy dog and no.
I mean, not
now
even
you know
that.
why
I don't want to
there's-
be like railroaded, but I don't mind like.
But he
If
can be
you don't even have an
hard-headed too.
opinion, if you don't even have an opinion, I don't understand.
I guess.
I mean,
I
that's why
understand.
there's so many virgins, though.
There you go.
But then again, like, but what we said, Jay is Mark's friend. Why wouldn't he have an opinion on going back for him or not?
I mean, he kind of did. I mean, it was
No,
more
he
of
didn't.
like.
No, he didn't.
That's
Okay.
true. He didn't. He
All
was
right,
just
he
like,
did,
I'll
but
do
he
whatever you want to
stood
do.
there.
He did,
said,
he did.
We'll do whatever you want to do.
But he said that Jay's like a brother to me, but I'll still do whatever you want to do. Like, I mean, I
Because
think.
he's still got Ava. He don't care.
But
That's
he
true, there
said,
you
but
go.
if that was your friend,
Okay, and honestly, when I was writing that scene, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know what I would do. Like, it was kind of like putting it on.
I don't think anyone really knows what they would do.
Like,
until
the
they're in that
place you just
situation.
escaped got overrun. You have no idea if he's alive or not. And then it's like, do you want to go back to where there
I'm
was
not mad at them
hundreds?
for their decision. I'm just
Right.
mad that he had no opinion on it.
Yeah,
or
that
at
was
least
more of-
weighed both options with her.
Right. Yeah. I kind of like.
But he just was like, I'm going to stand right here. You let me know what we're doing.
Well, I think Ava and Mark are both like hard headed, and I think it's just more that like Ava has control of like the situations better, or at least takes control of them.
I think Mark stands up like about safety reasons, though. Like,
Yeah.
like he made a point that he was going in and getting a gun and
Right.
in the shop and stuff like that. Like he didn't like let her decide,
Yeah.
and that Jay was staying in the car.
Well, I guess that is the one decision that he did make.
Yeah.
I would say, and that like maybe.
I mean,
like
everything
that.
Well, I
else
think
was
it's-
just like Well, I guess that's, because even when they stopped at the hotel after they got Serena and Riley, she was just like, well, I don't want to stop, but do you guys want to stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess she didn't have that much control over it.
Yeah.
I still think it's like her in charge, though. Like, I kind of wrote her as to be like kind of like the leader of the group.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No.
Like, if you want to be the leader, you can be the leader.
Right.
But I do think that, like, it's selfish in the fact, like, where I'm, like, I don't care what you guys are doing. Like, this is what we're doing.
Right. And she has done that a couple times.
Yeah.
So, like, I get that. And then she's also, like, I think when they're at the cabin, didn't she say something like, I'm going to
leave regardless.
if you come or not? Like, that probably,
yeah.
Like, made Mark realize, fuck,
Jay
I gotta just do what she
reasons
wants.
to go back, too.
Right.
But he wasn't, like...
But Mark doesn't. Mark has no family.
Well, I'm talking about, like, that's fine if Mark is essentially tagging along.
Right.
But even Jay has someone to go back to, and he was, like still thinking, okay, do we want to go drive through this? We don't know what's going on. And, like, Ava just didn't care.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think she's selfish in that fact.
Well, I mean,
I love how strong she is. I think that's good. And there's not very many female characters who get asked, what do we do? Usually the females are asking, what do we do? So that's nice.
That's why I kind of wanted to write this one, because I wanted to have a female lead, and I wanted to kind of, like, I'll be honest, I don't know what women are thinking, and I got to write for a woman, and it's not really that much different than writing for a guy, though. I mean, it's just like who they are personally, like,
yeah.
So I wanted to write like a strong female lead, mainly because how I see this is this show is probably going to go on to be about 6 seasons. I know you're like,
I know why you're looking at me like
well,
that.
because I feel like you're going to be like, oh man, like I got to do 5 more seasons of this.
No.
Okay. I
We'll
see
see.
it as being about 6 seasons, and it's just going to be like, it's going to change from just, obviously in 6 seasons, they're going to get to the West Coast before that. So there's going to be more coming
Yeah,
out.
maybe they shouldn't.
Maybe
They should just never.
Okay, well, that's one of the things is when I was writing it, I didn't like plan too far ahead. Like I knew where I wanted to kind of end it, but like the first season. But then I realized like if an alien invasion was happening and all this chaos is going down,
They can't get very far.
they can't get very far because like I don't want them to already get to the West Coast in one season.
Yeah.
And not only that is there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, and that's why. Well,
Like you were saying, like a polar bear, a smoke monster.
yeah, definitely polar bear, smoke monster.
Probably some others.
The thing is, when they got to the hatch, I was just like, I got to wrap it up here. No, well, that's one of my biggest gripes about like shows like. I love Lost, and I know a lot of people love American Horror Story, but when you have a show as opposed to a movie, like a movie, you're telling a whole story in 2 hours, whereas a show, you got to carry it on for multiple episodes, so you got to constantly add stuff to keep it interesting. And I think with something like this, I thought I was going to write End of All Hope and make it more dramatic and like slower and stuff, but then it ended up being more fast paced and actiony throughout.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, it kind of makes sense because this is like right when it's happening.
Yeah.
So this isn't like in a post-apocalyptic thing where you're like Last of Us or like The Road or something like that.
Yeah, where there's already a city built, a guy named Jesus with a tiger.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that stuff later.
Yeah, naturally. I mean,
And I think everything that you had was like I do think the military would quarantine people and things like that.
Yeah, especially like, and that was another thing is I wanted to add,
And people looting.
right?
People loot for anything. But
I just, it ended up being
Like,
a
come
lot.
on.
Yeah, I know. If there's a fire at my house, people are going to loot downtown no matter what. Like,
Come on.
No, I figured it would be a lot, like just, it ended up being a lot quicker. And like, it just, the way it wrapped up was just a fast paced kind of like action finale. And that's kind of, I was like, I'm okay with that. But then it does leave in kind of a cliffhanger with Jay not being there.
Not sure what happened.
You're not sure what
yeah,
happened.
this
so-
could be the last time you ever hear me.
Yep.
Yep.
He might be gone for good.
Unless you go back and listen from episode 1 again.
Yeah. Then you can listen to Jay as much as possible. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep reliving those
Just smash that
experiences.
repeat button.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think season 2, I think like as it goes on, it's going to get a little bit more slower and more dramatic, and then we'll learn more about the characters and stuff. But I think originally it's going to be like that first season, and even maybe like some of the second season, it's going to be fast paced because it's still that the first season takes place in like the span of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Whereas like I remember somebody commented on Twitter and said, it feels like it's been years since they were at that convention. I was like, well, it's only been 2 weeks. Maybe it feels like years because it has been 2 years since we released this whole season. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the show as a whole has gotten better.
I do too.
Like, if you listen to the first episode and then listen to the last episode, I think it's a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah. We were all very
the acting, not even the acting, the editing, all of it is just. And now I have Adam helps me edit even just the voices where you cut the voices because everybody comes in. How we record people is just everybody records separately, which can sometimes lead to why it doesn't always feel like a smooth conversation, but we try our best.
That's why I'm starting to have you read the other people's lines.
Yeah,
so
I think it helps
put
sometimes.
myself in that
position. Yeah, and everybody tries to read 2 or 3 times the same line, giving in different ways, so it can kind of pick the best take, match it up with the other takes. I mean, obviously, ideally, we would like to have everybody record at the same time, but it's just not possible with everyone's schedules. So,
or the size of this room.
That's true. And it's already hot in here,
tricky.
and it's small. This studio that we record in is just a very small, a little bit bigger than a closet. So what I mean.
If this is your average closet size idea,
walk-in closet,
then I want to live in your closet.
Listen, it's all right. It's what is it like?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit bigger than a
8x4
with a.
I guess it's like an 8x4 room.
Sure.
Is it 4? Yeah.
No, there's no way it's 4 because that's what feet.
Yeah.
There's no way this is only 4 feet.
All right, maybe it's a little bit 8x6.
Sure, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have no.
We're all good home deepers.
It's just very small, and we can't have the air on. There's no fan in here.
It makes it great.
Yeah, so it just makes it pretty hot in here. But we work with what we have. What else did I want to talk about before we wrap up this bad
guy?
guy?
What movie Hope thinks this would sync up with? Well, let's throw this back to 20 minutes ago.
Let's see.
I said Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. OG
Which
Mighty
was
Morphin Power Rangers.
Pretty spot on.
Yeah, Ivan Ooze. That we're in trouble song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I don't remember that movie.
Oh, you're missing out. I got it on VHS still. You want me to bring it over?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Well, you're lost.
One, I don't have a
War of
VCR.
Worlds.
War of the Worlds?
What one?
The remake with Tom Cruise or the old one with
original
Gene
that
Kelly?
I've never
or not
seen.
Gene Kelly. The old one with, what's his name? Rod Taylor or something. I don't remember.
Both of them.
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka. There you go.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka and the War of the Worlds.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's
there
a
you
good
go.
one.
No, honestly, that's what when I first wanted to write this script it was going to be. I wanted to write it as a film, but then I was like, there's too many alien
Things going
invasion
on.
movies, and and I want it to be longer, and I wanted it to be a whole story of them traveling across the country. But my idea of this was more along the lines of something like War of the Worlds, where it's the sequel, not the sequel, the remake with Tom Cruise, where they're spreading human blood and trying to I don't know what they were trying to do.
It made me think of it because of the orb thing that was in that alien.
Right.
That was what they believe is being
a
controlled
weapon.
by someone of higher intelligence. So that's why I'm isn't that what War of the Worlds was?
No,
I haven't seen it. Wasn't there wasn't they grabbing people and shit?
Yeah, I mean
and
they had the
using them
tripods.
for something.
They were using the people to I think spray blood and create a new environment.
When did it come out? 2005 or something.
4.
But
yeah.
do you really know it's
2004?
Holy shit!
Yeah.
But
I know.
I haven't seen it since 2004. But
No, maybe it was
what I
2005. I don't remember. It was around there.
thinking.
Yeah.
I think
It might have been 05.
maybe.
All right, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
See, this is what we do.
I know. This is what we do every time we're... Let's see. Yeah, all right. What are we saying?
I
04 or
say
05?
You know what? I'm gonna say. Oh god,
Hurry up.
I feel like this came out while I worked at that theater, but maybe I could be. You know what? I'm gonna go with 04.
I think it's 04. The original came out in 1953.
Cool.
this one came out in 05.
2005.
Yeah, she got it right.
I looked it up. No, I'm just
Oh.
I really did. I really did.
What? There was some other alien invasion movie that was out in IMAX. That was a remake of an old one that came out when I worked at
Day
the
of
theater.
the Earth Stood Still?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one
That's
too.
what I was thinking of. That came
Yeah.
out later.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've seen that one.
No, this one, like, I even thought of, like, when I was writing it, kind of the Resistance series, which is a video game, like, where there's different types of most video games have, like, different types of creatures and stuff, and I kind of wanted to have that. I felt like people love zombies, and I didn't necessarily want, like, I didn't want to write a zombie story,
I think that's
but
why this one's cool.
Yeah, I did add, like, a zombie element to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like zombies, and then there's different creatures, and there's different reasons why they're there, and then you'll learn more about them as it goes on, so then that way I can build the story a little bit more and add new things without it seeming like I'm just trying to throw shit in there. Like, I actually set it up a little bit. Yeah.
Like the necromorphs from Dead Space.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, they had a bunch
have
of different kinds. Yeah, a bunch of different
And
creatures.
they humans would turn into monsters,
into the
I
different
think.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I mean,
But
like,
more of a...
that was more of a, like, the Thing type, like, monsters, but it was still, like, space and, like, you know.
That was more, like, trapped in space, though, not...
Right. Not, like,
not them
apocalyptic.
invading,
Yeah. But still, you know, I don't know. I think it worked out, and season 2 right now, I'm hoping to release it in January, but that's only like a month away, so I don't know if I'm going to do that.
So don't say you are.
Yeah, I won't say for sure. I'm hoping for a January release because I've already written the first like 7 episodes, I think,
Oh, wow.
and we already started recording for some of them. I won't say who because we don't know who's coming back and stuff,
Dun, dun, dun.
but we did start recording some of them, and then worst comes to worst, it'll be February, but I'll aim for January. If I can get a few of the episodes edited before then. But like I said, Seven Lamb, we do a lot of different audio dramas. Like, if you look at our stuff, you can go to blogtalkradio.com/7lamb. That's SEVENLAMB. And we have all kinds of podcasts, which you guys voice characters in them too. Paralyzed is a horror one. Cop Doctors and Chair Swords are comedies.
I don't think I've ever done Cop Doctors.
You did? Yeah, you did.
Was
You
it
were
just
one
like
of the
a
nurses.
line?
Yeah,
Oh,
but I'm having you
I
come
was
back.
always a nurse.
No, hold on.
Those episodes are only like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, they're
to be
really
fair.
short. And you're going to be in the next one because I just wrote
Okay.
the next episode and the nurse comes back. So
That one nurse.
Yeah, so
That one person.
You'll be in that one. And then there's what was the other one that just released a new one called Story, which is a drama comedy. And
The Walk.
that's part of Story. So it's
okay.
The Walk, yeah. And there's one other one. No, maybe not. Oh, we are releasing a film noir comedy coming out in December. It'll start releasing, so you can check that out. That's actually a remake of a Shark
I
Dropper
know.
production.
My face was
Yeah.
like, oh.
But it's a remake of a Shark Dropper production, but we're putting it under Seven Lamb. Yeah, so you can check out all those, and then that's kind of why it took so long also before to release episodes, is because we had a lot of stuff. But now we actually have a schedule for pretty much everything, so you can just find every 2 weeks there should be an episode of something, except for Cop Doctors. That's only once a month, just because it's so stupid,
It's so
and I
stupid.
can't. It takes me a while to write an episode because it's so stupid. It really is. It's just a stupid comedy. But yeah, you can check those out, and then hopefully we'll have a website up soon. By December, sometime in December, we're hoping to have 7lamb.com up. So you can
Maybe
go.
that'll be a Christmas present.
Yeah. Merry
present.
Christmas,
Or Hanukkah.
everybody.
Or Kwanzaa.
Happy holidays, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Happy holidays.
PC for you
Of its-
PC.
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And then what else do I want to say? And then we're also on Patreon, and I'm going to upload some bloopers from End of All Hope. There's already a part 1 from the first 8 episodes of season 1. There's
It's
some
just
bloopers.
me cussing.
Yeah, it's probably
can
a
you
lot of hope.
Put out a master cut called Bloopers of All Hope.
That's what I should.
And that's like super meta because it's just hope.
I do
Now
want
I'm
to
gonna
like.
be like so. I'm like, delete it.
No, I want to do an episode or like something like on Patreon where it's just like the recording of Hope, like just the whole because
Just yelling at you,
Yeah.
just reading a perfect line, but immediately, oh, God damn it, Robert! Like,
well that's
no way you
that's
can
true.
cut it.
There's no heat. There's no air in here. It's hot.
She would do that all the time. She would record like a line and it would be perfect, but right when the line finishes, she says something like,
What?
"Oh, that's
what?
not good." Or,
What
yeah.
did I do? What now? Nothing. That was good.
I know, and I,
I
was
do.
just like,
I would try to fight it. Mainly for the reason that I just don't want to record it again.
Right.
Especially if it's like the long ass paragraph.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The voiceovers.
Break them up, Hope.
Yeah.
You do so much
started
better when
breaking
you break them up.
Break them
yeah.
up.
Yeah, it helps out when you break up. Those voiceovers can be a doozy. I understand that.
A doozy.
Hey, I record the voiceovers for Paralyzed, and I write them, and I hate doing them, and it's my fault.
And then what else do
I
I
write
I try to make you. I don't think Ava would say that. Let me
Oh,
say it this way.
She always like tries to correct. Like Ava wouldn't say that. Ava would say this. Why would she say, "Oh, roll down a grassy hill"? Ava's gonna say, "Roll down a grassy hill." She rolled
There's
down
some
the
things
hill.
like I'm like people don't say that.
I know. I'm trying to be descriptive too.
I know.
It's an audio only
It's mainly
medium.
for the reason that I do not want to say these words.
I mean, sometimes phrasing is a little odd.
It is. I
I'll
understand.
admit that.
My
And that's not
writing's
even
not
a
perfect.
descriptive thing. No, I mean,
No, I know. I
sometimes we just change it on the fly.
yeah.
But now,
I'm okay with that.
now that you got that iPad to read along, it's harder
I know
to
he's
do.
called me out like 3 times. He's like, "That's not what it says." I'm like, "Shit."
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, sometimes you do need called out on because I'm like,
not
no,
disputing
that wasn't even the word is
Wasn't even
the,
close.
and you said plop.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened?
It could happen.
Well, it's like when Nick's recording for Mark. Sometimes he'll just like skip like 2 words, and like he'll just go into. I'm like, dude, you didn't even say like this is like the main word of this sentence. And like he's like, what am I doing? I didn't even see this word. I'm like, I
That's
don't know.
why you're killing him off.
Yeah. Yep. Mark's
Done.
dead.
Yep.
No, just kidding. I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
You don't
Never
know.
say
You don't know.
Don't
You don't
tell him.
know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope he dies off mic. In
Yeah.
between seasons.
I just be like, he's done.
Season 2 opens with Ava's voiceover. Ever since
mean-
Mark died a few weeks back.
Cut to a year later. It'll be like that Fantastic Four movie where they just cut a year later, and it's just like that's it. Just wrap it up then, and start from there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You can do it.
Yeah, but if you go to Patreon, which is patreon.com/7lamb, but that's the number 7 LAMB, you can find like a bunch of content on there. I'm debating about putting like some special episodes on there of End of All Hope. Not yet, probably after season 2. But then we're gonna have bloopers. The second part of the bloopers is gonna release probably within this week or next week, so you can check that out. Yeah,
Do it.
Get some cool.
Did you
stuff.
give the URL though? At least patreon.com/7lamb.
7lamb, but that's the,
The
number
number
7
Number-
LAMB. Everybody, it gets
The
confusing.
number
all right?
7.
All right. Well, because like Blog Talk Radio, which is our main website right now until we get the website up, is SEVENLAMB. blogtalkradio.com/7lamb. So whatever.
Whatever.
It gets confusing, but yeah. So season 2 will be out soon. Anything else you guys want to mention or?
I hope to see you guys again.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I'll probably see you two
at
Again.
some
real life
point,
again, I'm sure.
at some point, but
Yeah.
who knows? For
I mean, maybe not. Maybe
Who's
I'll
your
go.
favorite character?
Whew. That's a tough one.
I hope you pick. There's not like a ton of characters.
I know,
Yeah.
but there is a few.
Yeah, there are a few.
I'm hoping with season 2 to kind of like build them up a little bit. And,
I don't know. That's hard to say because everybody has things that I don't like about them. A lot.
I like that's the way you go.
Like,
Like
listen,
everybody has something I like about them. Nope, everybody has something I don't like about them.
I mean, I feel like if I said Jay, then that's just showing favoritism.
Right?
Ava is kind of a bitch. I can automatically rule Mark out.
Yeah. No, Mark.
Yeah,
it's like
no Mark.
done.
See, for me, like I think I like Ava, even though she's a bitch sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
she shouldn't be hated for it.
the flip flopping drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
until I didn't even really notice it until Mark called her out on it.
Yeah, that was in the finale, right?
Yeah.
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 Noticed pretty late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe because I read
not
all
for
her
them.
lines. I'm like, I know
to be
her.
fair, I started listening to this when it started coming out in 2015 and then stopped
right.
because it was taking so long.
Oh, yeah.
So I binged it after it was done. But I edited a lot
of the newer
in
episodes.
between.
in between.
So that's probably why I didn't really pick up on it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully when I release season 2, they'll be releasing every 2 weeks, and it won't be a long. We'll get it out in a year, like all the episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know how long season 2 will be, but it'll be roughly around 16 episodes again. So,
I hope we see what's that character I like? Johnson.
Johnson, the one that like
I love him.
my Spanish
Did you say
friend.
you're little?
Yeah, my little Spanish friend.
That's nice. Great.
Well, he could be short.
That's
He
true.
is. He's short.
He is.
He's.
I think
yeah.
he's funny. I like that character. Who plays him?
He's funny when he you don't know him, Jay Marone. His last name is Marone.
Maro.
And actually, his first name's Jai Lee or something like that, but everyone calls him Jay. But
because those dumb Americans.
we
Yeah.
can't pronounce that shit. It's
Break
hard to
it down.
even. Yeah, it's even
Water
hard
that
to.
shit down.
Well, if you take the little accent mark off of his last name, it's moron. So you have to add it on there, or you're calling him a name.
That's mean.
Yeah.
But again, dumb Americans. Would
He's
probably-
he's a character I want to see more of.
that reminds
Just for
me.
his insults.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It's an old commercial, and I don't remember what it was for, but someone was in for like a job interview or something like that, and he kept calling the boss Mr. Dumbass or something like that, and it was Mr. Dumas.
Dumas. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. People have those names.
Yeah.
People do.
See, my name.
But to be fair, they shouldn't be offended by it.
no, I
if
know.
someone-
It's
if
just
someone-
something you
Get
gotta
used
get
to
used
it,
to.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my last name's not really Lamb. It's Lam, but people call me Lamb, so I just kind of got used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
feel
believe
you.
a single
I
thing
feel
you
you.
say. I don't believe a single thing you say.
It could be accurate. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
I'll believe
It probably is.
That's why I put. You know why I put the M in my like the middle name initial or whatever.
'Cause you
Robert
do it
M.
to
Lamb.
annoy me?
I do it to annoy Hope, but also because like it's just something I've always done. Like with all my professional stuff, because there used to be another Robert Lamb that went to school with me,
And then you killed him.
Really?
and then I had to
Killed
kill
him.
him because
Yep.
he just I
Because
didn't
you
want
could- they're
I
kinda
didn't
me
want
too.
competition.
No,
Yeah, I didn't
obviously.
want competition. No, he used to get all my grades. He like they like almost held me back because they thought that I was that Robert Lamb, and then they're like, no, this is, and they had the wrong social security number on like my stuff. Like it was just weird, and I was like, this sucks. And then I would get his doctor bills and everything in the mail too. It was
What
odd.
the hell?
Yeah.
Maybe he was breaking into all these places and changing the records.
That's true. I did get better
Like
grades
you
than
got
him.
his
Not to
like,
brag.
doctors.
Yeah, I got
That's
his.
weird. Like they don't.
Well,
just, like,
no, we
find
went
a
to the
name.
same. We had the same doctor and the same dentist too. And we
Oh,
would get the same.
this
Okay.
No, for real. This is accurate.
He was
not
playing-
anymore. Not anymore. But before he was playing me.
Is
he
this-
was just trying
like,
to be me.
listen,
He was trying to
listen.
be me.
I think Robert made up a person.
Oh,
I think we
shit.
should go.
It's my.
Darn.
It's my. It's
Do some
my-
research on this.
Yeah.
Listen,
This
I
sounds-
assume that this.
room is-
He's
seems
gonna
dangerous
exist
now.
since once he turned 18. He disappeared.
I'm doing an American Psycho Christian Bale type thing right now, where I'm just making it all up in my head.
Yeah. I'm gonna be
Maybe.
walking to my bathroom or something one day and look over and just see the other Robert Lamb standing out on my
Which is
second
just
floor
me
porch.
with a mustache.
Yeah.
Even though I have a mustache.
fake mustache.
Yeah, a fake mustache over my mustache.
God.
And googly eyes.
And googly eyes.
Yeah. You'll never know it's me.
See, this is what happens. Like when we record, we talk about like shit. That
I know.
Make any sense.
Well, I figured that was going to be kind of what this episode was, but we did
Yeah.
talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff, and
It was good.
You know, it's all good.
Yeah.
So
To be
season
fair, the
2,
production on this was a long one, so a lot of it's kind of fuzzy.
It's yeah. I don't remember a lot.
Because I remember the editing I did more than I thought actually. Because as I was listening through the episodes, I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember what I had to do to cut this line together."
Editing
and make it sound
voiceovers
good."
is really shitty too, right? Editing voice, like the voiceover part,
Is this just a shot at Hope right now?
kind of, but it's also just like the worst.
I
will-
believe you.
I will say that one of the episodes that me and Hope recorded for recently was like a 15-minute episode, 15 pages, and it ended up being 45 minutes long.
Oh, I
of
believe
recording.
it. The discrepancy when I would download
Sorry. Whatever. I don't care.
when I would download the individual tracks
Yeah.
to cut the lines, the discrepancy in how long Hope's
Yeah.
bar was compared to everyone else's was ridiculous.
And just think of like that's just recording.
No, I know.
Think
yeah.
about when you don't record
that's
or
true.
beforehand.
Yeah.
There are so many
happens.
times where a new line is starting and I'll have to go like 4 minutes into where I last cut because it's Hope just yelling.
Now I'm gonna be so conscious of it. I'm like, all right, don't do it.
No, it's good. I kept it rolling. That was my big
Sometimes
thing for
I
like.
say hi. Do you hear when I say hi?
No.
I think I did that for Amber once. You were
Yeah.
like, Amber's recording. I'm like, oh hey Amber.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll start
that's-
leaving. I'll be like, hey Adam.
That's why I started. I record like the whole session now because there's just so much good blooper stuff. I was
Some
like,
good shit.
Yeah.
Am I the worst?
no, honestly, no.
You always say that, but I think I am. Who's the worst? Say it right now.
The worst to record. I don't want to
Say it right now.
that.
Yeah, say it right now.
No, I don't really know. no one's like, I don't dread recording anybody. I do now dread
You can tell us
recording
off mic.
people. No, I don't like recording people anymore. It's kind of like sitting here listening to you guys say the same 3 lines and then like,
Oh no, I
no,
feel
say
you.
it this way. Like,
I've been advocating a human-free world for a while now.
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's rough. People are the worst. No,
Robot overlords for the win.
Definitely. No, and now that I've recorded people for so many different podcasts, I've gotten to the point where like even when like takes are bad and I'm like editing them, like they're not like as bad to me as they used to be. I'm just like, it's
Whatever.
good enough.
That's fine.
Not to say that I'm like settling for this stuff, because usually I do have people come back and record
Well, for
certain
me, you're
lines,
probably like,
but-
that's as good as it's going to get.
yeah, well, sometimes certain people I'm like, yeah, that's good enough.
I think you said that last time when I had to come and do reshoots. You're like, that's fine.
Yeah, well,
I don't really think you're that bad.
I don't think so.
Just except when
I need to read
you
the
do
script.
have a good line and then immediately start talking after it, and
Like,
it just
shit.
ruins it.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's the only real.
And sometimes I
complaint.
make up if I hear something. Like if
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, did you hear that?
But she's not the only one who does that. There's like a lot of other people. I think Jenny would do that too. Like she would say the line and then like immediately start talking like right after the line. I'm like, wait, give it like just a hair of a second. Like
Just wait.
just a smidge so I
Yeah.
can cut it.
Yeah.
Because when it's like right
I'm gonna
next
start
to
like
each other,
counting
it's
to
rough.
5. Okay, now.
Yeah. Or like the worst part is like cutting out people's like like when they're like breathing in, about to like say a line, or like breathing.
I've noticed a lot of
never
that
thought
is
of that.
kind of unavoidable.
Some of it
because
is.
it's from editing and then going from editing back to recording stuff. I've kind of tried to be more self-conscious of that,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it just happens like when like someone just opens their mouth and it'll make like a sound or something.
Yeah.
I hope that wasn't too loud in anybody's ears. I tried
No,
to back up
you're
for
good.
that.
You're good. It didn't. Yeah, I didn't
I don't want
register
to
that
kill
loud.
anybody listening to this.
Yeah, like the clicks and stuff of people's like the mouth noises.
Yeah.
I usually can still edit them out. It's not too bad, but some people do like breathe heavier, like even like it almost seems like they're breathing like over like they're talking and stuff, and that's kind of like weird
I
sometimes.
never knew that.
Yeah.
Do I do that? Do
no.
I breathe really loud?
No,
I've never noticed
Huh.
that.
No, you're not.
I never thought about that. That like the way you start a conversation.
Like for me, I think like most people also don't notice it when they're listening to the podcast because it's just like normal stuff. But for me,
Yeah.
because I've been editing it for
I've
so long, I
noticed
notice it.
a lot got hidden under effects and things like that too. And
Yeah,
music.
and I
So
do that on
helps a lot.
purpose. I do that on purpose sometimes when like sometimes for some reason the room ambience will be a little bit louder because I have to, because some people have like a softer voice or a louder voice, and I have to kind of bring up the volume or drop it, and then you'll get more of the room ambience, and sometimes it'll kind of be like too much. So now I've learned that if I just put a music track behind it, you can't even hear
You're
it.
good.
Well, I've also noticed that some lines where I was listening, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that line, and I remember that being the best choice, and it's still not being that great, but it sounds fine with music or whatever underneath it. Like,
Yeah, sometimes music or sound effects. Like you can add a
Yep.
sound effect of them like catching a backpack or something like that, or unzipping something, and it like kind of it makes the scene a little bit more like it doesn't. I don't know. Just like when they're saying their lines, it kind of like helps that line.
Yeah.
Like it helps the acting and stuff. So I've learned that as I've been editing. That's why I also think the editing or like the episodes have gotten better because I've been adding. I also think just music in general, even behind scenes where it's just dialogue, I think it kind of adds a lot to the scene, like to give it kind of a feeling and stuff.
yeah, and
Like-
there was a lot of really wherever you got the music from.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
A lot of it
actually,
really fit really, really well.
I'll shout out to this guy on Incompetech is his website, incompetech.com, and his name's Kevin McLeod, and he does like
Good name.
Yeah, I think so.
Good name.
Yeah.
I do. I think
It's a good name. So he has a lot of music, all types, like everything, like even jazz, which I'm putting a lot of the jazz music into the new film noir we're doing, and yeah, even like horror music for Paralyzed, and then End of All Hope. I found like a lot of cool kind of like End of All Hope's a little weird. Like I don't want like sci-fi futuristic music, but then I also don't want horror music all the time. Like I'll do some kind of like I'll try to find out a good
Eerie.
balance. Yeah. So he has
There's
a lot of
this-
music on there.
There's this one. It was just like this really kind of industrial type.
Wait, which? All right, was it for the
Uh,
finale?
I don't remember. I mean, I listened to the entire series in the last 2 days.
Okay.
So it's all one long series to
Yeah.
me right now.
All right, let me think.
so I could be fresh for this, but it was definitely towards the end. I don't remember if it was in the finale, but it was definitely in one of the last, let's say, 5 episodes.
It's got to be okay.
But I also kind of want to say it might have been at the hotel, but I think that might have just been like a really cool guitar track that you used at the hotel.
Was it during a chase scene?
It was. Yeah, I think it was when the aliens. But see, I might be thinking of the guitar track too, because there were 2 that really stood out for me. Where I was like, "Oh man, this is really awesome." And I know one of them was at when they were when the aliens were coming to the hotel.
Okay, I'd have to go back. 'Cause I want to.
But then there was another one that was towards the end, like when they were in the military camp as well. But it could have been in the finale.
Because I will say that. The Incompetent guy, I've used a lot of his music throughout, and his stuff is all royalty free, even for podcasts. I made sure, and I printed out the page just in case he ever takes that off. And it's like, no more podcasts.
He would never
At
do
least
that.
I could do. You don't know him.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
true.
him.
You know Kevin McLeod.
Kevin.
But how do
Kevin
we know
McLeod.
his real last name is McLeod? Maybe he's
That's
a big
true.
Star Fox fan.
Yeah, maybe. Although I
name.
think he spells it differently than
okay.
Fox McCloud.
Okay, that's okay then.
Because I think he actually spells it McCloud, like Mick Cloud Fox, but then he spells it MC or
No little C.
M little C CLEOD. Isn't that like I don't know. I don't even want
I want
to
to
Sound
say
like
I think
what?
that's how I think that's
Is that how
that's Star
Fox
Fox
McCloud
is. Yeah,
is
I
it?
think so.
It might
Oh
be.
no, we're gonna look this up. Not that this needs to be on the podcast at all.
Oh, it
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
Who
necessary.
cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
find out.
It's called.
Maybe
While
they
you
wanna
do
know
that,
too.
I'm gonna
Stretching.
take a picture of us recording.
Yeah, do that
for
me googling. That way, everybody will know exactly what's going on here.
I
Or
can't fit everybody into
or this could have been when we were looking up. I can't really move out from
Is
behind
this
the mic
like
without
right in
it.
his face?
Yeah, it is. And I
Scoot
was
over
gonna move, but then I realized I'd probably have to quit
Yeah.
talking. Like
I don't
Your
know.
face.
I don't
What
know
was
if that
your
works.
face in that?
I like how we just pause, like stop
Yeah.
talking to take a picture.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that worked.
I had to
Well,
say
we didn't
no.
all fit.
Fox
Oh, yeah.
McCloud is MCCLOUD. So it's spelled different.
LOUD, yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's spelled
McLeod.
different.
Dang it, that didn't work. Okay, whatever. We'll do it after. But yeah. So shoot, where was it? Oh, but I did also have 2 other guys that I actually know who. Well, one of
Don't
them.
brag.
Don't brag.
I know 2 guys. People. Okay, I don't want to brag, but I
And
have
5 girls.
I have at least 2 friends. Okay, and I know at least 5 girls. No,
But they can't be your friends, right?
No, girls can't be your friends.
No.
There's just that. It's the
Yeah.
tension. It's
Yeah.
the
You
tension.
might
like
end up
that.
jacking off in a plant in front of them.
That's true. That's true. That's a
do
little
that.
topical.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
News related.
Yeah. we'll cut this out next year. So
Yeah, because then people won't understand that reference.
it'll take too much work. You'll have to Google 2017.
Yeah,
It'll be a whole thing.
2017. Am I right? Okay. Anyways, but there's another friend of mine. He provided some music, so I don't know if it's maybe one of his tracks that I put into like the last. Some of his music I used in Paralyzed and End of All Hope. It's more like the creepier stuff. And then another guy, which I'm gonna plug his stuff too. Eldritch. I hope I pronounced this right. Eldritch T'Challa is his name.
Good
and
name,
he
too.
lives in
Say the last name again.
T'Challa. It's like T''Challa.
I wonder if he's like the Black Panther.
Kind of isn't that like that?
Oh,
I don't know if
yeah.
that's like. I think it's his real name. I don't know. He's gonna be listening to this, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering
He's
your
like,
name, but
God damn it.
But I think, I mean, if
it might be. Yeah, I don't know.
If it's spelled the way you're pronouncing, that's like that.
Yeah, I think it is right.
Or
That's-
maybe he's a fan and he took that name for his last name.
I mean,
as a
that-
stage name, like Robert M. Lamb.
it might. That's not a stage name.
That's not stage name. It's my name. Prove it.
His like I don't want to say company,
And
but
what's your
he
social?
goes. What? Yeah,
No,
it's gonna be 555.
Okay.
55
And?
5556.
6.
Okay. All right.
That's my social security,
All right.
not Eldritch T'Challa's. Okay. Yeah.
Just capital.
But he lives in Atlanta, and not Atlanta. He lives in Georgia, and he which isn't in Atlanta. But I know. I just realized I said
hate
that,
to tell
it's
you,
not.
but
I didn't mean to say it that way. I just
Georgia
mean
is not in Atlanta. Atlanta is in Georgia.
I know that.
Fun
I just
fact.
meant
In case
that
you didn't know.
he doesn't live in Atlanta. I met that was another friend I was thinking of. Anyways, Jesus Christ.
How many friends do you have?
Over
You
2. We
said
just
2.
talked about that.
No,
So
you
you're
said
a
just
liar.
2. So you're a known
Guys,
liar.
you guys are making me sweat right now. Or maybe it's the studio. I don't know.
It's probably both.
Stop putting me under the spotlight. No, but he does a lot of cool industrial type music. So I thought maybe it's his because he gave me some tracks. Most of them he gave me because he loved Paralyzed so much. He didn't listen to End of All Hope until
now.
And he listened to it and he's like, oh, I got some tracks for you for the finale. And I only used his music for the finale. And it was more, there was like one military track that he gave me. It was like military-ish and then another kind of industrial scary part. So I put those in there. And then I'm going to put a lot of his music into Paralyzed. And he's making music specifically for these podcasts. And he's like, yeah,
That's cool.
I'll help you out. And
Now I want to go back and listen to music because I don't think I ever noticed that.
Really? You didn't know this music? Thanks.
Sorry.
It's a lot of work,
Good job,
Hope.
Hope.
Sorry.
Good job.
I'll go back and listen.
All right. Anyways, I guess that's it. We talked at length. We're almost at an hour.
Yeah.
And not all of it was about
Yeah.
End of All Hope, but
Okay,
that's okay.
you can definitely
20%.
say we talked at
20%.
length.
We definitely talked at length. Sadly, yeah, Nick, who plays Mark, couldn't be here. Jenny, who plays Serena, but maybe next time.
If they survive.
Well, we already
They
know
might be dead.
Serena's pretty much dead.
Well,
That's true.
Spoiler alert.
That's true.
For the second time.
could be.
So she might not be back for the
Maybe
season
that's
2
a spoiler
recap.
alert that she's coming back.
That's true. As a monster.
Yeah. And then
That'd be
her
cool. Just like her and her brother could hug.
just
Yeah.
Again.
walk around
Oh.
holding hands, slitting
Do
throats.
a whole like
Yeah.
warm
Make
bodies
that a
type
thing.
romantic story.
Or their brother and sister.
Well, I don't mean like a romantic like
Well,
are they going to do it? I
What do
just
you
meant,
mean
like,
by romantic? Oh,
Maybe
no.
monster brother and alien could hook up. You don't
That's
know.
true.
We
That's
don't
true.
know.
They probably don't have like birth defects if they do it.
No, probably not.
They probably don't have birth if they do it.
No. wait. I have a question before we
Where
go.
does this go? Where do we go?
Sure.
God.
I just don't know how to end this.
Wherever
So
we
Adam,
need
go
to.
ahead.
Where do we need
So Trish, that was Lori and Trish. Trish
Lori
was
and
the other
Trish.
girls. I can only ever
Jesus,
really
this
remember
keeps cracking.
Lori's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
oh.
it was me that time, I think.
Okay. So they just showed up randomly
Yeah, so
because I know Jay at
Jay
one
made
point
friends.
was like, I talked to some lady over there.
he did mention them first, yeah.
Okay, so that was them.
That was them.
And
Because
they were questioning something. They were questioning the sheriff? They were questioning the sheriff. Wasn't that how like you introduced them?
No. That wasn't
No,
her. That was a
just,
different
wasn't
person.
They just
No.
showed up randomly, just
Oh,
all of
I
a
thought
sudden at
that
the
was
beginning
how
of
it
one
was.
episode.
Yeah, she kind of mentions them like that. We started talking to these other two people or whatever. The thing with them was I was actually going to make them main characters and actually have them carry over into season 2.
Gotcha.
Now I don't want to spoil, so I won't say if they are or not. But that was the initial thought. Was I wanted to
Putting them
add
in.
like a couple
Okay.
more because I was thinking about kind of like splitting up the group at one point. But
Yeah.
then now
Yeah.
but as I wrote, it kind of changed things.
Walking Dead
So-
season 2, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, wait, they didn't split up there.
no, not
did
yet.
they?
Season
That's just
3,
when,
right?
Maybe I don't know.
Season 2 was the barn.
Season 2 was where nothing happened.
Yeah.
for 16
and season 3
episodes.
is when I stopped watching.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is when you watch TV shows, a lot of times there's an A, B, and C story, or at least an A and B story.
Yeah.
So you're cutting back and forth. So my whole thing was with season 1 of End of All Hope, Ava, Mark, and Jay were always together. And when Ava did split up from the group, we still followed Ava. We didn't follow Jay and
What
Mark
are
too often.
Jay and Mark doing?
Then when I introduced Lori and Trisha, like I kind of there was a couple scenes where it was just them and not Ava, especially like near the end. And I was kind of just testing that out to see how it would be without Ava in the scene. So that way, come season 2, if I wanted to start splitting up the groups and start doing the A, B, and C story, it would help writing wise because then you're not stuck with one character. And sometimes I'm always like trying to like scramble, like, okay, well, what would Ava do next? But at least this way I can kind of break up the different stories. And that was kind of the initial, this is why I'm adding them. It was kind of out of the blue, but that's why I did have Jay actually mention them too, like before they actually got shown.
All right,
There's
'cause
like a mention of them. or
Yeah,
something.
I just wasn't sure because
Yeah.
I remember them from editing, but since I was listening while I was at work, all of a sudden they just started talking, and I was like, "Oh yeah, wait."
There's
Did they ever get mentioned before? And then I was like, was it Jay being like, we talked to some woman over there.
That was the person that he was
because
talking
they never said
to.
a name, and it seemed like
Well,
that
there
was like
should've-
2 or 3 episodes, or like an episode or 2 before
It
Lori
was.
and Trish actually showed up, and then just all of a sudden Amy started talking, who played Lori.
Right.
Who
to
did not
clarify
care
there.
about Jay.
Yeah, well,
He's dead. Go.
yeah,
Go.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
I was like, jeez.
She just started talking, and it caught me off guard, and I was like, did I miss something? Like,
Well,
was
Ava should have let in with because there's like a whole recap part of one episode where I kind of wanted to fast forward a couple days. Like it was, they're still there, they're still trapped, and Ava is doing kind of like research, pretending to be this girl, this doctor that she's not. And I wanted to kind of flash forward a little bit, so that's why I didn't have them like get introduced per se. I just had it like they're already part of the group, like 2 or 3 years later. But there should have been like a part where Ava, I don't remember because I didn't listen to the episodes recently, but there was a part where she like kind of recaps the last like 2 or 3 days, and then she mentions we met these 2 girls, Lori and Trish.
Are you sure you put that in there? Because I don't remember.
I'm pretty
hearing that.
sure, but I'd have to
Pretty-
listen to it
Yeah,
again.
I think you cut that.
I mean, maybe. But I thought I added like that little voiceover thing before. It was like in the beginning of the episode or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe
I'll go
I
back
did
and
miss
see.
that part then,
Yeah, I don't remember.
because I was at work.
Not paying attention. Just
Well,
listening.
I did. Towards the end, I started remembering how much or remembering things from editing,
Right.
and I was like, man, I didn't realize I absorbed it this
That
much,
much, yeah.
like beyond listening for stuff that fit together, and
Yeah.
so I did tune out a little bit towards the end.
Yeah. So maybe that's-
because I already had the experience
To listen to it,
I had
yeah.
already kind of listened, but
yeah. And
so maybe I missed that line.
they might show up for season 2. They might not.
Maybe not.
Again,
Maybe they
who knows?
die too.
Yeah. Maybe everybody dies. Maybe it's
Can-
just all new
Whoa.
characters.
Can you ask Amy to chill a little bit?
I know she was.
What did I say? What did I say?
She was very panicky.
I said, listen, let me
The
just
whole
say that I
time,
love
just-
Amy, but holy shit, like calm down.
Yeah.
Everything was a thing.
Love you, Amy. Sorry.
No, I agree with it. It's funny because like when I recorded her, that's kind of how I wanted the character to be, like panicky.
Yeah.
But then when I realized you don't notice when you piece it together with all the other characters. Like sometimes somebody
Like we're all talking like this, and Amy's like, Jay's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Well, that's why I had a lot of people come back to re-record parts of the finale, mainly to match her. Which, in hindsight, it actually it worked out because like I wanted it to be amped up, but
Yeah.
I couldn't have her re-record any lines because she was in China. So I was like, I want to
I
get
feel
this
like she's
episode
always
out.
in China.
Well, she's always somewhere, but
That's true too. I feel like 2 months ago she was in China again.
I don't
Maybe
know.
she's well. I'm
She
not,
travels
I
a
don't-
lot. She travels.
Yeah.
She travels, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I had people come in and try to like match her enthusiasm for some of it.
Yeah.
She's in a lot of shows too. She does a lot of
She's
voices
in a
and
lot of
stuff. So
shows.
she's yeah.
She can change her voice. I can't change my voice.
Yeah,
I've tried.
you play
Me
the
either.
same.
I
Yeah,
tried.
know, I know.
I've heard some of your accents.
Don't. It's so bad. I try so bad.
Can you do a Valley Girl cut of
Oh my
anytime
God,
she's like,
that's
I
true.
feel like I want to do this like a Valley Girl.
And you know what? I'm doing the
I am.
bloopers right now, and I didn't find a Valley Girl. I need to go back and see if I can find a Valley Girl.
look
can find
in some of the later episodes.
Yeah, she does it, and she did a country girl. But I think that was for
I
a
think I
different-
can do
remember that
that.
one,
Oh,
too.
okay, yeah.
Just maybe not good, but I can do it.
Wow. Yeah,
I do.
Who's
I do.
that one guy who can always change his voices? I don't think I know him.
Jack.
Was that him?
He plays Ambridge.
Amber.
I
Yeah,
almost
that's him.
invited him to this, but then I figured we were going to have 5 people, and I was like, that's going to be too many people in that
And
room.
then 2 people were
and
like,
then 2 people
"Ow."
dropped out, so he could have came. But it's still kind of hot in this room with just 3. So
Don't kill him off then.
Wow, who knows?
Or maybe kill him all.
Yeah,
Kill 'em
Just me.
just
Ava.
Ava.
Just Ava. Walking down
Ava.
the street.
I say
And-
make seasons 3 through 6 just aliens wandering around shrieking.
Yeah,
Nothing but
no,
sound effects
no
for 6
dialogue,
seasons.
no nothing.
Just shrieks.
Explosions,
Yeah.
weird,
we'll do
weird
it from
squishing noises.
Maybe I'll do that for Patreon. Just have like from the aliens perspective. You just hear people screaming in the the distance, and he just runs over, kills them, and then goes to the next one. That'd be kind of cool.
Tell us about a character that's going to be in season 2 that we don't know yet.
Character.
Don't say their name. Or
No,
Yeah, give us their name and complete character arc for the
no.
season.
But
I don't know.
I will
I wanted
say
some-
they are going to run into some crazy characters. That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'll say.
Like cannibals?
Who knows?
Cannibals.
They're going to run into some
I'm not-
interesting
Let me
I'm
quit.
not-
characters.
Ava
Let me
doesn't
quit
eat
John
people.
Walking Dead
I'm just letting you know,
Yeah, right.
I know Ava. She doesn't eat people. Don't make that happen.
Yet.
Ava's not going to be a cannibal
Yet.
yet.
Don't. No, she won't. I know her.
Oh,
I hope the series ends with Ava having to eat Scott.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say really quick.
And no crying.
Before we go, Scott,
I hate him.
you told
Oh
me.
my God.
Jeez, I play Scott.
I think it's
You know
because
what?
you play Scott.
Scott is kind of the worst.
Yeah, he's not that great.
He seems like he's yeah, okay, babe, whatever.
He's kind of a cool, laid back.
babe.
Like,
What's up?
he loves her. He loves her.
Well, does he?
Yeah.
Because
He stopped answering his phone,
Okay, it's an apocalypse.
but it hadn't hit in California yet. What was he doing?
You don't know that.
you don't know that.
That's true.
To be fair,
I feel like
It
I would.
didn't at the time when he answered the phone, but then when he didn't answer, you don't know. At that point, psh,
We'll see.
but is he alive? Is he not?
I hope not.
Do you want me to
I
guess?
hope not. Yeah.
I hope not.
I hope he's dead too.
Yeah, I don't like
Jesus,
him.
guys.
I hope he dies off, like, and she's like, she finds out,
like off screen.
like a telegram.
I
or
hope
something.
like someone just
telegram.
like they just
Tweets
happen
at
to
her.
run into a place with some internet connection and she just
Tweets
gets
at
a
her.
random tweet. Oh,
he's,
Scott's
he's,
dead.
he's in the
Scott's
obituaries of
And then
like the
just
local
throws
paper.
the phone over her shoulder.
or have her just give up and not even care anymore.
Yeah,
And then she comes across him and she's like, "Oh, I remember you."
I think that'll happen once her and Mark bang.
If
I don't think they will.
bang,
I don't think
They
they
will.
will.
there's definitely
Now
some
that I
tension
feel like
there.
I say it, you're like, "Fuck Hope, I'm gonna fucking make
Yeah,
it big."
now that you both hate Scott so much, you know what? Scott's a mainstay.
Scott's in.
Scott's
I
going to be
hope
like
so.
the main character
Scott,
of season
Jay,
2.
and Ava.
I
They're
hope so.
besties.
I hope you do that.
just write it. Just from Scott's point of
spite.
view.
And I
no
hope
more Ava.
I hope it's all via phone too.
Yeah. It's just going to be all over the phone.
Yeah, it's just all FaceTime.
Just remember, Ava, you got this.
But I
That's-
I
He is
wanted
very
I wanted
good.
to break up a lot because it's an apocalypse and obviously service isn't great.
It's still
Be like,
there, but it's not
Hey,
great.
but
Yeah. That'll be
Can you hear me now?
all of season 2.
I hope so.
Yeah. And then season
So
3
stay tuned.
Season 3 will be a creature, and then season 4 will be
Space,
Yeah.
just space.
yeah, they'll go to space.
Yeah. Well, I was just hoping it could
It'll
be
be
a
Ava in
weird
space.
vacuum noise.
Okay,
well, I guess
for
there's no.
16 episodes.
I guess if Alien taught us anything, it's no one can hear you scream. So
Yeah, you can't hear anything.
yeah, just silence. Let's just put out
16 episodes.
16 episodes of silence.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it.
Well, we got it.
Just make sure it's
At least
longer
four
than 1
seasons.
minute, or Yoko Ono might sue you, or whoever owns the Beatles catalog at this point.
Does she own silence?
Well, John Lennon has a song called 1 Minute of Silence.
Oh,
and it was
okay.
1
Well, that's
Minute
true.
of Silence.
Yeah.
Or
I
it
thought,
might have been a Beatles
I
song.
thought she owned like actual silence though too, because that
No.
would be she would capitalize on that shit. You know what I mean? She would be raking in the dough.
Well, I don't know.
Well, not
Have
in
you
the
heard,
big cities.
Have you
but-
ever heard her albums?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not on purpose.
She would not be about silence.
no.
She wants to make weird squeaky noises.
Yeah, I hear she's a great person.
Sure.
Anyways, all right.
Where'd you
So
hear
let's
that
wrap up. Other
When she
people.
broke up the Beatles?
Yeah.
Did Paul McCartney tell you that?
No,
What's a
Lennon.
Paul
But
McCartney?
Oh, okay.
he was outside of the Dakota. He said
I was gonna
something
say,
great.
where are you going with this?
Anyways, let's wrap up there. Yeah, you can check out all of our other podcasts on blogtalkradio.com/7lamb. That's SEVENLAMB. We got 6 other audio dramas, 5 right now. We're going to have a 6th in December. So you can check out those. Season 2, hopefully January, but if not January, definitely February. I'm really hoping for January. I'll try to push and get a couple of episodes edited,
hold you
get
to
ahead of
it.
time. Yeah, well, we'll see.
Well.
As long as these guys come in to record, or not, maybe they're dead.
I
Who
always
knows?
come in.
I'm just kidding.
I always come in.
But yeah, you can also go to patreon.com.
Not to say nothing, but I haven't gotten a text in a few weeks, so
That's true. So who knows if Jay's even coming back?
yeah.
Oh,
Well, we don't know.
Speculate.
Yeah.
Speculate.
That's all you got to do. So patreon.com/7lamb. That's the number 7 LAMB. You can find bonus content on there for all of our podcasts, including scripts and bloopers and hopefully some extra bonus episodes soon. And then if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at 7lambpodcasts. That's SEVENLAMB podcasts @gmail.com. And we'll answer anything or tweet at us. Instagram, we're on all of it at 7lamb podcast.
tweet at
Facebook.
us.
Is it SEVEN?
No, it's 7. I know.
The
I
number
gotta get
7?
I just got to get them all on the same page. Yeah. The number 7 LAMB podcast. Although technically I do have an email, 7lamb podcast. I got both. So if you want to spell it
let's
out,
not
or
mix
don't.
this up.
I don't care.
I just
I'm
wanted
saying if
to
they mess it
clarify
up-
for the social media.
Yeah, but it's going to be confusing regardless. But if you go, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are all 7lamb podcast, the number 7 lamb podcast. And just email us if you have any questions. Okay, well, for myself, Adam, and Hope, thanks for joining us for the End of All Hope recap.
Hope you liked it.
Oh, I get.
Hope.
I see what you did. And hope you stay tuned for season 2. Yeah, that's it. Take it easy, guys.
Hope.
Easy enough. Hope.
This has been a 7 Lamb production.